Welcome to Technia TV. Hello, I am Dr. Sandeep Kumar. Today I am delivering lecture on directional upper tail critical hypothesis test, which is H1 more than. Here we will use the Z test for a directional or one tail test where the alternative hypothesis is stated as greater than the null hypothesis. A directional test can also be stated as less than the null hypothesis. For an upper tail critical test or a greater than statement, we place the level of significance in the upper tail of the sampling distribution. So, we are interested in any alternative greater than the value stated in the null hypothesis. This test is appropriate when it is not possible or highly unlikely that a sample mean will fall below the population mean stated in the null hypothesis. What is directional test or one-tail test? These are hypothesis tests where the alternative hypothesis is stated as greater than or less than a value stated in the null hypothesis. Hence, the researcher is interested in a specific alternative from the null hypothesis. In a certain exam, it was reported that the population mean for students taking the exam between 2015 and 2018 was 558 plus minus 139. Suppose we select a sample of 100 students enrolled in an elite private school which is equal to n equal to 100. We hypothesize the students will score higher than the general population. We record a sample mean equal to 585. Compute the one independent sample Z test at a 0.05 level of significance. Now I am explaining the step 1 of the hypothesis testing. Step 1 is concerned about the state of the hypothesis. The population mean is 558 and we are testing whether the alternative is greater than this value. H0, which is null hypothesis, mu equal to 558. That is, mean test scores are equal to 558 in the population of students at the school. Alternative hypothesis H1, which is here represented by mu is greater than 558. That is, mean test scores are greater than 558 in the population of students in the school. Now, I am explaining the step 2. Step 2 is concerned about the set the criteria for a decision. The level of significance is 0.05 which makes the alpha level equal to 0.05. To determine the critical value for an upper tail critical test, we locate the probability 0.05 towards the tail in column C in the unit normal table. The Z score associated with this probability is between Z equal to 1.64 and Z equal to 1.65. The average of these Z scores is Z equal to 1.645. This is the critical value or cutoff for the rejection region. Figure shows that for this test, we place all the value of alpha in the upper tail of the standard normal distribution. In this figure, the test statistics does not change from the earlier discussed example. We are testing the same population and we measure the same value of the sample mean. We change only the locations of the rejection region in step 2. The Z statistics is the same computation as that shown in our earlier example. Z statistics equal to m minus mu divided by sigma m, where sigma m equal to sigma divided by root under n. 585 minus 558 divided by 13.9 which is equal to 1.94. Now I am explaining the step 3. Here the probability is less than 5% that we will obtain a sample mean that is at least 1.96 standard deviations above or below the value of the population mean stated in the null hypothesis. In this step, we will compute a test statistics to determine whether the sample mean we selected is beyond or within the critical values we stated in step 2. The test statistics for one independent sample Z test is called the Z statistics. The statistics converts any sampling distribution into a standard normal distribution. Now I am explaining the step 4. In this step 4, we will have to make a decision. To make a decision, we compare the obtained value to the critical value. B. Reject the null hypothesis if the obtained value exceeds the critical value. Figure shows that the obtained value Z obtained equal to 1.94 is greater than the critical value. It falls in the rejection region. The decision is to reject the null hypothesis. The p-value for this test is 0.0262. We do not double the p-value for one-tailed test. B. Found in example that if the null hypothesis were true, then p equal to 0.0262, that we could have selected the sample mean from this population. The criteria we set in step 2 was that the probability must be less than 5% that we obtain a sample mean if the null hypothesis were true. Since p is less than 5%, we decide to reject the null hypothesis. We decide that the mean score on the students in this population is not 558, which was the value stated in the null hypothesis. This is the conclusion of my lecture. Thanks a lot. Watch and subscribe Technia TV.